Jim Harbaugh was suspended. This suspension was absolutely warranted.
I got a feel-good story for you. What else do you want the man to do? We're counting down the best plays. How do you define success?
George Wrighster.
The Big Ten was right. However, Tony Pettiti, the commissioner, cut the baby in half with this suspension. Number one, the NCAA investigation is not finished. It couldn't be finished this quickly. But there is clear evidence that Connor Stalions bought tickets, showed signs, man on the sideline with a sign chart. And how are you going to sit up here and say, oh, come on, guys. Michigan's defense is, you can't prove it. You can't prove Jim Harbaugh knew. You can prove that Jim Harbaugh is supposed to know and most likely did. As a football person, tell me how this makes any sense at all. You have a staffer, not an offensive coach like a quarterback coach, a linebacker coach, sitting here giving you signs to the offensive and the defensive coordinator, whispering in his ear, and the head coach, hey, yo, edge pressure. And then he's giving signs to change the calls, too. You think as detailed as coaches are, particularly on winning teams, they must feel like you are right to listen to you. And nobody sat there in the meeting and was like, hey, yo, Connor, how do you know all of this? Because they have to be sure, because touchdowns can be given up. So why would they be sure? Exactly. And no, this is not a court of law. It is not innocent until proven guilty, and the due process situation is not the same, because this is not a criminal proceeding. This is a violation of a regulation. That's the difference. But Tony Pettiti, the Big Ten commissioner, cut the baby in half. Is not being able to show up to the game really punishment? If Harbaugh gets to coach all week, the hay is in the barn from the time the game is over with the previous week until after the game. Until right before the game. He traveled to Michigan with the team, Jim Harbaugh did. How is that punishment? And then you had Sherrone Moore after the game. Watch this video of Sherrone Moore, Michigan's offensive coordinator, who then was acting head coach.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you.
Come on, man. I mean, what are we doing here? What are we doing? If that was my boy, we would be laughing at this. This would be all over the group chat. What are you crying like this for? You sniffling? I literally went on Twitter and then on the Google machine and typed in Jim Harbaugh, because I was like, yo, did Jim Harbaugh die? Is Jim Harbaugh sick? Did he have a stroke before the game that we didn't know about? He's like, this is for you. Like, yo, come on, man. You haven't seen the dude for like 5 hours. Come on. But I do understand the emotion, because Michigan feels like somebody's trying to take their season away from them. So I do understand the emotion there. But we can laugh in the midst of a situation and say, yeah, that was funny. And if Harbaugh truly does feel persecuted, could he walk away from the NCAA altogether to take the best opening for an NFL job? Because the NFL didn't punish Pete Carroll for issues at USC, but it did make Jim Tressel sit out before consulting with the Colts back in 2011 after he resigned from Ohio State. Now, according to NFL insiders, though, the NFL has said that they will not be a safe haven for coaches in college running from consequences. So I don't know what that means, if that's collusion, if that is some sort of suspension for Harbaugh if he goes to the league. But if the league is saying that, they were trying to make sure that coaches aren't just doing whatever they want to in college football and then ducking off to the NFL. Just saying. And we talked about this with Antonio Pierce in a cool video about the Raiders. So you guys can go out and check on that on the channel as well. Now, if Harbaugh does move on, it'll mean that two of the most resource jobs in college football are open.